Hello, Mike. Hello, Satiya. Thank you so much for joining our recorded
Hello, hello.
meeting. This meeting is a meeting of a positive energy colliding between Michael and Satiya to share their vision, their mission, their goals, and plan of action together to see if there's a energy could be collide and mixed to create this a powerful force. So, Michael, Satiya, who you want to start first introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Satiya. I'm the co-founder of Angkor Crowne KBAMI. I'm also the music director for the company. Um, I'm an, I don't sound bragging, but I'm an international artist. I travel a lot to tour. Um, yeah, it's
Cool,
me.
man. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success. That's
Thank you so much.
it's a hard industry.
It is, yeah. But with faith and belief, just keep going.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, I'm Mike. I am the founder and group CEO of Upward Artificial Intelligence, as well as a co-founder with Brixie Group, and I'm also the regional director for 500 Global, which for Cambodia, I'm holding that, and our goal is to invest in the future. We primarily hold like seed funds and post-seed investments across the world. Some of the companies that you may know would be like Reddit or Grab or Canva, things like that, Credit Karma, Udemy. So those are the companies that we invest early stage, early on. And on top of that, I have a basketball camp. I'm a Team USA certified basketball coach. We launched the camp here in Cambodia, as well as the Paralympic head coach prior. Won a couple gold medals and some cool stuff, and supporting the local population to learn emotional intelligence, leadership, financial literacy, and prepping them for kind of the world outside of Khmer and also beyond the age of 18. And so our focus is primarily 5 to 18-year-olds, and currently we're raising funds right now to support the kids to be able to have shoes, water, and nutrition. The kids that come in and providing them scholarships if they can't and other opportunities. So far, we've had 51 kids now get full ride scholarships to schools abroad, from UCLA to University of Manchester, and I think that we're doing a pretty positive impact on very little, and just giving our skills. And we had an awesome crack team, and that's what we've been doing in Cambodia for the last 3-4 years.
Thank you,
Amazing.
Mike. The more I heard about it, the more I get impressed with you. The more I talk to you, the more happy I get to be talking to you, to get the privilege to get in this opportunity to talk to you, Mike. I'm very proud of you, of what you have done, what direction you're going to. As for me, I'm just a simple man, living a very comfortable life. I've been ignoring my calling for the last 38 years. 3 years ago, I started to make a commitment to dedicate the rest of my life to help Khmer seek and discover the gift, and to be given away in that gift to find happiness, purposeful, fulfilling life. So here I am. My ultimate goal, is to connect every one of you guys together, and then to see if there's a positive energy to build that powerful force to find that gift. So here I am. So, Satiya, why don't you share your background with your Mike and Swag, and tell him why did you decided to, how you and I meet history, why did you decided to join the 802 Angkor Crown, and why do you think that you wanted to create this 45-day, a yearly Khmer New Year global tour?
Um, Basically, yeah, I'm at this age, this stage now where I just wanna do something amazing, do something that leaves a long-lasting legacy, and to help Khmer people build general wealth. and that's why we're committed to do 30 songs where we giving the opportunity to investors, to earn percentage of the song for eternity. And with our 35-day worldwide tour, sorry, my dog, that's gonna bring a big revenue and for all of us.
And
Cool.
also give us the opportunity to meet in person as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mike, I'm gonna kick back to Satiya later on to talk about, the percentage breakdown, and then. But for now, why don't you go ahead and go and dive deep into your basketball program, and if you wish to dive deep into your other venture, we'd love to hear that as well.
Sure. The basketball program I created is called the Underground Academy. The reason why it's called the Underground Academy is because people only see the surface. They never see how much work and how much dedication you put into whatever you do. I know you can attest to that from the music. They don't see the late nights, the writing, the uncut takes, all those things. They just see the song that they get right on YouTube, and then they get that view. But for sports, it's the same thing. There's blood, there's sweat, there's tears, there's commitment, there's a lot of things, and that's why we call it Underground Academy. We're working on everything below the surface. Our focus is to make good people, not nice people. We're making good men, not nice guys. That's one of our biggest focus, is to make a very strong next generation, because that's the future, right? And one of those things is, when I became a father, I was like, all right, cool, like this is a big focus. And a lot of the times, as Khmer men, we see that it's a very patriarchal, like, society and things like that, where they're not strong enough to have like a strong woman next to them and things like that, or strong, whatever it is, strong partner, right, nowadays. And the aspect of teaching them those things is a very safe place within four lines. And Chris, I know you can attest to that, with football. What you create, and the camaraderie and the leadership that they can learn in the four lines is an amazing thing. And you can't replicate that in real life, because when you go to real life, then you got to really perform. Especially for the kids, they don't get that opportunity out here, especially in Sokmai. They're coming out
Yeah.
here playing bare feet and everything like that. We provide water, we provide world-class training, as well as mental and emotional support for all of our young men and women athletes. And so right now, we're just supporting them with our own money. And there are, like, American Embassy kids, there are French Embassy kids, there are doctors, children's, and like there's 4-star general kids coming in through as well. And so you're talking about a very wide range, from all the way down to a kid that has no lunch, and they're able to support each other. I saw one growth is a kid that's very well off, goes to a very nice school, Khmer kid, saw, and here in Khmer, he'd be like, hey, let's go get something to eat. And someone's like, oh, it's cool, I got some food at home. It probably means that, like, because Khmer people like to go out. They will go out if you give them the opportunity, especially when you're young like that. It's just kind of like a low-key way of saying, I don't got the money for that. And what happened was, this guy calls up, 4 vans roll up, and in an incredible display of like leadership, to be fair, and selflessness, put all the kids and say, hey, no, I got this. We're going to go eat at my house. So they didn't go eat out. He took them to the house, fed 43 people. And that's love. And the kids that didn't have shoes, all of a sudden, it became a thing. So now you're talking about growing a community from the base up, and in a way trickling down, right? And this is just leadership, and they're learning humility, and they're learning grace. And then those are the things that we're teaching and that we're focused on. You get kids coming in here, they're crying. And one of our big things is, you don't get to quit on the hard days. You get to quit on the days that you're hitting all your shots. You're going to quit on the days that you're having the best day you've ever had on basketball court. Those are the days you can quit. Any other day, you don't get that opportunity. You don't get to quit on the hard days. And those are the things that we're teaching. And we do that 5-6 times a week. We have a lot of sessions going, and a lot of parents coming in and paying that amount, but it's not enough, because right now we have a lot of kids that aren't being supported by their parents to do this thing because they think it's worthless. And it's quite tough, because that's just our culture and what we're in right now, right? It's more important to eat than play basketball. That's for sure. I agree. But it may not be the best education if you put somebody in the school 12 hours a day. They're not going to get the things that they truly need, which is learning how to be adaptive. And so right now we're just raising money and hoping that we can provide some scholarships. We've gotten about a couple $1,000s on a $50,000 raise. We operate as a business and not an NGO, primarily so that we can take those certain payments in because and how we operate, because we also have, in order to be able to have a Nike license as well, we need it to be a business and not an NGO. So we can actually sell Nikes, and we're an actual distributor for Nike as well. So then that way we can actually buy shoes at a way cheaper rate than buy them from somebody else who's going to make a profit of them. We're able to buy those shoes and give them directly at cost and stuff like that. So we have a little bit of an advantage. And that's one reason why we chose to be a business. And we get taxed a little bit less as well, which definitely helps the cause of like feeding kids.
Amazing.
I believe through COVID, we gave 5,808 meals. We saw a rise in a school across the river. Cost us about $130,000 that we did. So we saw a rise. When we got to that school, 76% of the kids there were wasting, malnourished, or stunted in growth. At the end of 3 months, we had only 36%. And we have those numbers as well in a study that we did and measuring across. Our kids grew an average of 4 kilograms more than a different school. And it sucks to go measure another school, but we had to go measure them and not give them food just to, it sucks, but you have to have a control in order to prove your point. Our kids grew an average of 4 centimeters in like 4 months. That's crazy, because the other school only grew an average of 1.3 centimeters. So if you're able to provide the right things and build a community around it where they're able to help, that's what our goal has been. And we've been spotlighted by Oxfam as an impact-based business, as well as a couple others. And right now we're just teaching the kids how to be leaders. A lot of those kids go and actually start student councils after schools. They're learning how to be leaders. They're learning how to be good leaders, not just leaders, but good leaders and defined individuals. So that's what we're looking at in terms of our business. And we're hoping to raise money to provide more scholarships for young women.
Thank you, Mike. We can relate to that. And matter of fact, Satiya's 45-day yearly Khmer New Year celebration is going to be based on fundraising to support Bong Pimin. We can also add your program to that. And then we add Michaela's program to that. And on top of it, we're not going to stop at Michaela. We want to duplicate Michaela to every province, to every single village in Cambodia, to open additional school. And not only we don't, with Bong Pimin, we don't want to stop there with her. We wanted to maybe open a high school. We open a private school. We open a college, maybe university. So we're heading that direction based on what we're doing under the 802 collaborative when it comes to the fundraising. So we are still looking for a fundraising director. Anytime we put together fundraising, we want that particular person to focus on that particular point. So yes, we are on the right track, brother. I'm so happy that you're doing this, and I'll be more than glad to add you on to the fundraising with Satiya's 45-day global tour as well. And we don't just do 40.
I'd have to ask him directly, right?
Yes, you
No,
gotta.
no.
He's right there.
I'm right here, man. Don't worry.
Yes. So that is his vision. That is his plan of action. So, like I said, my goal is to connect your energy together, Kalai, and
Did you
plan
eat dinner
together.
yet? Did you eat
Say
dinner
again?
yet? Did you eat dinner yet?
No, after this show.
Where's your show at?
No, I mean our show here.
Oh, really? You want to go get a burger at my joint? We open a burger joint over at Tudum Pum.
Where at?
Tudum Pum.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's about 40 minutes drive. I'm leaving Choi Chong Bar.
Oh, you live in Khor Chong. Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
traffic jam right now at the moment. This time. But I'll come another time if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. Let us know. Just a
you.
couple days before is always good. It's
Yeah.
tough to.
No, appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I'll actually be in Khor Chong on Saturday at Khmer Enterprise, where we're coaching 17 startups here in Sor Khmer about business practices and how they can start fundraising for their businesses and and start aiming for pre-seed and how to bring them up. So that's what we do.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
That's
you should roll
awesome,
through.
man.
You should roll through. It's 10 to 4
Satiya,
Yeah.
p.m.
why don't you tell Mike a little bit about your history with the Sea Game and your history with Michaela, and then hopefully we get you set up with Bong Pimian as well. And Mike already met Bong Pimian, right, Mike?
Yeah. I don't know if
You
you
Uh,
didn't
saw.
wasn't yet.
I didn't. I did not actually. She didn't know that her school was closed the day that I was supposed to visit.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh.
So it
Uh-huh.
happens, I guess.
Now I meant when you met her on a virtual meeting like this.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just the person meeting having is still on standstill right now.
Yeah. I'm actually going back to the States on June 3rd, and then I'll be back here in July 5th. So
Okay, I see.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So tell us about your history about the Sea Game, and tell us your history with the relationship with Michaela.
I don't know if Mike saw the opening performances of the Sea Game.
hmm
You
Yeah, I
saw?
saw that. I saw portions of
Yeah.
it.
So
I didn't get a chance
that
to watch
that
it.
theme song, me and my team wrote it and composed it.
Very cool. Great job,
Yeah,
man.
how I got involved is through. I did a song last year. It's called Pung Tum, and the Ministry of Tourism and Sport really loved it. Loved the whole composition, the lyrics, and everything. So they got contact with me and commissioned me to compose a song for the Sea Game, and that's how I got involved.
That's cool.
I got a great team behind me. These kids are amazing. They young, inspirational songwriters and composers. They're just amazing. And with the 30 songs that we're doing, I'm very confident that even 5 out of 30 songs gonna be a smash hits and generate wealth for all generation.
Yeah.
For all investors to get involved.
And
With Michaela, I met her sometimes around a couple of years ago during COVID. She helped me organize a meeting with Tiny Toons. You've heard of Tiny Toons?
Yeah. The NGO for dancers that
Yeah.
like can
So
help kids
I
stay on
did
their feet.
yeah, she organized a meeting with them, and we shoot a music video at their organization, and to expose them and promote the organization. And yeah, that's how I got met Michaela.
Come
She
to the
seems.
basketball camp. These boys are big now. You want to shoot a video with the basketball boys. They're like
I should, yeah.
they're
I
like
love to have a
they're
game with
like
the
16
boys.
plus. You gotta roll up tomorrow. Tomorrow we got our AAU practice. We actually our 16-year-olds, 16 to 18s have been beating like 20 plus year olds. So we train them
Wow.
the American way. So
Yeah.
tomorrow in actually TK, we're actually training at Premium Sports at 6 to 8 p.m. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you want to roll through.
Okay. Give me
If
some
you're
more
not busy.
details. Give me a
Sure.
private message on that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Please.
Yeah, for sure. But
I
that's
love
awesome.
to go.
Oh yeah, love it.
yeah, he actually right after his performance, he went to support grand opening for Michaela, the Lovely Hearts. That was impressive. That I was so happy to hear that, and he was able to show up and support her.
There's no sleep then, but we got there. We got there on time.
So tell us about. Do you want to share with him how your music is being divided, different section? How do you divide your music per song, every song up to 30 song? How it related to the Khmer Empire and how it relate to to the Khmer people in general with the 30 song? Why is it so powerful?
Because it's gonna touch every part of our history, and everyone's gonna feel gonna relate to the song, because every song has a story, every song has a theme, and it's an absolute obligation for us to make sure that we're gonna touch base on everyone's feelings throughout Akpan history.
And Michael, he already made me cry with the first song. I have shared my dream with him, my nightmare of why did I decided to dedicate it my rest of my life. and he wrote a song, and he's, you know, he met 1,000 times than what I was expecting, and you know, he basically made me cry. So I was so proud of what he did, because you know, he take from an idea, from a dream, and just make it 1,000 times better, Mike. And that's, and then with the next three songs, it's so meaningful, it's going to be powerful. So not only that, he also tell me that with the 30 song that we're gonna write, it's also gonna make the rest of the Khmer people very happy and they can relate to. So that's why we're excited. And how are you planning to get uh Khmer leaders and investor involved and connected with you, and what type of proposal you'll be proposing to them?
We're gonna be Joshua, one of our co-founder. He's looking after the marketing and um, sponsoring. So he's putting together a package, and in the package it outlines everything that every investor needs to know in regard to how what percentage or how they all can benefit, and everything is going to be transparent.
So, and then Joshua is our co-founder and vice president of promotion, marketing, and advertising. He just have a meeting with Satiya to have an understanding of how to generate revenue from music, and he also have a lot of other idea that would be implemented with the plan. And then we're going to take that and copy it into the investment proposal. And then Satiya will also do about 3 interview with all different podcasters, to also do 3 interview and share his vision on the interview with, and then we propose that to our my leaders and our co-founder and our investor. So how
Mm.
did it being divided up? How much is, tell Mike how much it costs for every song, like, and then also what's it take, the whole package? What are we planning to do?
Every song, for it to have a high quality standard, we're going to be spending 5 grand for every song, and every song breaks down into 5 phases. Through from a beat to writing the lyrics, adding my instruments, mix and mastering. Um, so that's the audio side of things, and then the music video will cost at least 5 to 7 grand. For we're reaching for a high quality standard music video in order to capture the essence and the themes of the song.
And what else do we need to make it a success with the music video? Promotion, marketing, advertising. So what do you think the total cost would be, include everything? Estimate.
Audio, music video, marketing, we're looking about 20,000.
So about
Per song.
20,000 per song.
Yeah.
So 30
To
songs,
keep
so we're looking at about half a million.
yeah.
So here, what Satya and I have been talking about, how do we raise those? How do we do that fundraising to fund those projects? We suggested that should we go with the big player that give us all the money at one, just one investor, or we're going to go approach with 10 investors. So we decided to give this opportunity to my family that able to come up with $2,000. They can invest in one song. They can invest all 30 songs. That's their decision. That's their option. And we will not accept any one investor, because we don't want one investor to give us all $1 million and say, here's what I want you to do, and they dictate what we're going to do, and we don't want that. So but however, we'll accept 3 big player investor to come in and fund those those projects. But we would prefer to spread the wealth, to offer to my family, to say, look, here's an opportunity of a lifetime. You get to work and see Satiya on a personal basis. And would you like to be involved with this project? And then this is how much we're looking for fund to depart into a screw account, so that Satiya can look at his bank account and say, look, I got $1 million, I got $10,000, I got whatever that may be. Give him the confidence to go out and work with his team and write as many songs as possible, so he can just focus on that. So we decided a perfect scenario would have 3 major investor, or we can have a maximum of 10 investors with Khmer family to give us those per song by song. So that's what Satiya and we discussed and agree upon. And what do you think, Mike? So I know you have a lot of good, good idea, got a lot good experience. So what do you think that we should make changes, make adjustment to that?
I think that it's interesting. Like it's an interesting model. It just has to be defined more, right? Because at this point, you could say that like, Satya, what do you have? Like, you see, 76 million views on YouTube, which is like pretty good. Especially you're coming up here with like about just under 200,000 followers on there. So at that rate, we're looking at not a bad revenue rate. It's just like the only issue is you're gonna come into this thing where, let's say you throw a concert, right? And then you got, I don't know how many investors you have, and then you decide to sing those songs. Are they going to be able to receive revenue from those? And if so, how do you define it? Because obviously, like, it's very easy to define revenue on online streaming and on that stuff, because it's just very clear. Cool, you own 3% of the song. Here's 3% of revenue, or whatever it is, or profit. But then when you start performing, it's like, do they own those rights to those things, and are they taking a portion of your concert, of your dues, and all that stuff? And are you okay with that? Because that's the thing as well, because you're an independent artist, right? So it's just like that's going to be a thing that you have to decide for yourself, because you're going to be the main person on all the songs. So
right.
Collectively, all the co-founders will make decisions.
Okay, and you're okay with that you're going to let these people decide what you're going to do with your life?
No. This project.
Not his life, just this project. Yes.
This project.
But at the same time, like, we're looking at it and saying that's your name, right? And that's your work as well, and people are investing in it. And so, how are you going to define that when it comes to your concerts and stuff like that? Let's say you do another mega concert, or let's say you do another concert for the next SEA Games, or whatever it happens. Like 10 years down the line, and the ministry gives you $100,000, and these people for eternity own a piece of that song. Are you going to be doing that? Or let's say that they do a 50-cent snippet and they're paying you blah 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 XYZ, and then they're switching to another song, and then you got to pay those people, right, for royalty rights, because at that point you're no longer owning your music. You have to pay royalties to all these investors that technically invested in you.
I think that's something Joshua and I and Chris will we're gonna simplify it, make sure everyone is clear.
Probably be good for that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna ask for you as a co-founder for validation and approval as well.
Yeah.
It's voting. It's just one of those things. Like, I met a dude last night from Singapore. He wants to open a music studio here in Khmer, like a really nice one, like maybe nicer than like Laura and Andy's studio, right? Like, so it's like, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to come out of there, and what kind of music you can produce. I mean, it's a really cool mission. It's really cool. Like, you might honestly be better off crowdfunding. But like,
what?
I know crowdfunding, but I know your mission is like to get money back for investments and stuff like that. Like, is the other part was, you said you're going to guarantee, right, Chris? You're going to guarantee a return. That's also the next dangerous part.
Well, no. Guarantee was only on my soccer program session.
Okay.
My guarantee is that's every project is all different.
Okay.
Every product service all different. Yes.
So that's like the point of I'm misunderstood, right?
Yes.
And then for other people, they misunderstand. They might misunderstand heavily, because if Satiya makes one really good song, and they're all, because it hits different markets, right? Let's say like 3 are good, and then 1 really makes it, and then the other 10 or 15 just don't get listened to. Like, they get 100,000 views, and then 1 gets like 15 million views. Somebody's going to be a little pissed off, right? You might piss off a lot of people. They're like, why is my song not getting these views? Because they don't understand necessarily the whole industry. They don't understand the market or whatever it is, and the marketing you push through. So if one song hits it big, people are going to be like, yo, what happened to my song though? Why aren't you giving love to my song? Why don't you ever sing my song? And it might put a lot of pressure on you from various sources. And so that's also like a risk that you might have to take up, right? That's something that you have to think about.
Absolutely. That will be included in our contract agreement. Yes. Everything will
Yeah.
be simplified, where everything will clarify through all our co-founder, through our collaborator, through everything that we do. Will be transparent.
Yeah. So as long as they're able to understand that, then I
Yes.
guess that would be fine, because that's going to be like a big thing that may affect you long term. Because at a certain point, the last thing you want is somebody going on there and like, he made me invest in this, and I made no money. I lost my $2,000 or whatever it was. Because
But
I'm telling
remember,
you, like,
this is for eternity. You know, it's the music's gonna be on all music platforms for eternity. It's not like for a period.
Yes.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So the
of course.
money is gonna travel
But,
further and further.
but at the
Yes.
same time, you have to convince these people that are investing a small money, because if you come across a serious investor, they may give you
Yeah.
$100,000 or the $1 million or whatever it is, and they understand that they get a long-term investment. But if you come across somebody that has $10,000 in their bank account, and they got a mortgage, and they got a car payment and insurance, and they got kids, and they're throwing down $2,000, they may want to see that money back next week. They don't get it because they work for a living.
Yes, and like I said, all that stuff will be included, and we are going to accept or give the opportunity to everybody in a fair proposal to them, and making sure that your concern would be answered, or comfort them in such a way that they understand that, hey, this is a risk with business music. It is risky from beginning, but once once the Tia finish all the song and finish all the go doing all the tour, having royalty, having all this listening to, and then it's owned from generation to generation. Because if you own that percentage for that music, one song, you own it for eternity. You can pass it on to your kids, generation after generation.
Do they own the masters? So this is
Yes.
like we own the masters.
Here's how it divide. Whatever the cost that we're talking about, that's like a one-time investment from them. And then Satiya, Mike, and Swag would own 20% royalty for life. And then Angkor, Crowne, music and movie production own 20%. And then the investor will own 60%. That is depending on the investment they put in. So if they put in 1,000, then you own that percent. If you put in 20,000, but we don't want all 20,000 in one investor. So you probably want to have, let's say we take, he said it's a range between 20,000 to 25,000 after we add everything, right? So let's say if we have 3, we divide it by, let's say 20,000, right? So we have 3 invested. They put in $6,700, right? But that would be then they have 60% of that ownership, that one song, for eternity. But if we have 10, then it's $2,000, right?
Yeah.
So
and then they have that 6% for eternity, but it's divided into 10 players, so that means they're gonna have less than 20%. So that means Satiya will
it's
be in control.
$2,000 for every 6% is what you're asking.
Because he said to be safe, let's do a range between 20,000 and 25,000, a range.
But your minimum range is 6% for $2,000.
A minimum range is 3 investor.
Yeah. So okay, so then it's gonna be
6,700. Yes, that's 20. Yeah. So that's 20% for each, and that's how they get 20%, we get 20%, and investor have 20%. That makes sense?
And what are you gonna tell them their ROI is when their ROI happens? When is their break-even point? What are you gonna like their potential?
At this moment,
yeah,
we have to go based on what the Joshua were able to come up with, and Joshua is working on it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. Well, you should have that answer soon. Okay, Satiya, you you have any questions for Mike? Mike, you have any questions for Satiya?
No, I think we're all good. I just need to know his burger joint and his basketball place.
Yeah, so I'll send it over to you.
Shoot me a message here, please.
Well, let me ask you the final question. Would you be able to join us as one of the co-founder, and then perhaps as a vice president operation vice president of sport, operation director.
I want you to define it more and then come back, because I want the actual tasks and duties list. And then once you define that, then I'll make a decision.
I will send it to you immediately after Bong Dara's meeting.
Yeah. Take your time, because like honestly, like it does affect everyone, right? And so if I'm not pulling weight or if somebody else is not pulling weight and we're not fully defined, it becomes you're actually like potentially putting the community at risk versus actually having like, okay, this person's doing this. And
Absolutely.
that's why all the samakoms around the world, they just don't get anything done, because there's no defined roles. It's just like, you're the chairman or you're this and this, and then they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just talking in circles. And so I want to make sure that if we do something like this, that we're able to push forward actually, and we're not just wasting time and money.
Absolutely. Time. Yes, time. It's important. Time is money. All right. Thank you so much. We'll get back in touch with you again, and enjoy your dinner with Satiya when the time is right, when you decided to get together for dinner.
Thank you.
Michaela also told me you met with her in person as well, and I was happy that you're able to meet Michaela and talk. So I'm happy to hear that.
Very nice. Yeah, she was very nice. Yeah, we met at Starbucks.
Yes, and she's very passionate about helping doing the NGO and fundraising, stuff like that. I'm more than happy to be her mentor and her guide, and to make sure she doesn't run into any turbulence in her flight, and she doesn't have any ripple in her pond. Okay.
She's got a rough road ahead. So
yes, I told her that this is the toughest business. You want to be an NGO and nonprofit, it's gonna be tough. Yes.
It doesn't matter where you go, somebody's gonna think that you're just stealing money.
Yep, exactly. All right, so Mike.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate
it. All right,
Bye.
thank you so much. Bye-bye.